Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be maybe getting a new set of wheels for both of the cars. You might be wondering, what am I talking about? As you guys know, I've been using a set of 18" by 9.5 C6Z front wheels for the Corvette and the SS behind me. And I've actually had pretty good luck with them. When I initially got that setup, I actually already had one of the wheels, so I didn't have to buy a full set of wheels. I literally just had to buy one wheel, and it was like $100 shipped. So, you know, I didn't have a lot of money into it, but it was kind of a compromise because that wheel is an 18" wheel, and it's just a lot of rolling stock for, you know, both the SS and the Corvette. A lot of my buddies have like a 17" in the rear on their SS and G8, but a lot of those guys have gone down to like a smaller brake kit, or they go all the way down to a 15" brake kit. And honestly guys, I'm not interested in doing that. Like each car would be like $1,500 in conversion parts. The spindles for the Corvette are like $700, and then the brake kit's like another $600. So $1,300 there. The SS is, man, probably a similar, at least $1,000. Like I couldn't use I have the stock GT, like G8 GT brakes on the back. I still have those, but I can't use them. I would need a different brake caliper, a different rotor. So you're looking at least $400 or $500 there. And then the wheels. A 15 by 10 wheel is like, it's ridiculous. I think I saw a set for like $1,500 just for the wheel. No tires, just the wheel. And so I mean, between the two cars, you're looking at easily $4 grand. Yeah, I would say easily four grand minimum. So, and plus, I really don't want, I'm not a huge fan of the small brake kits. Like, yes, on a drag car it looks cool, but for everyday driving, I wouldn't be driving on a 15" B-lock wheel. So I'm kind of like, yeah, no. Plus like $4 grand, I'm not putting that into a drag wheel, and I don't want to make the SS a drag car. The Corvette, if we did that, would be acceptable. You know, I wouldn't mind it too much. So as a much cheaper alternative, I've actually looked into getting a 17" wheel that clears Brembos and clears PBR calipers in the back of the Corvette. Now, what do I mean by that? The PBR and the Brembo are about similar size, but what the problem is, a lot of the 17" wheels won't clear it, is because of the leading edge of the back of the caliper. I'll show you right here. So if you guys look, you know, there's the leading edge here, and on the bottom where the pipe goes through it. And there's a raised edge right here in the middle. Yeah, there's a raised edge here, and there's a raised edge on the bottom as well. I've seen people grind down the caliper, like, that's probably a 1/4" to a 1/2" of material that you're grinding off there, and I'm just like, no, I'm not a big fan. And then I saw the guys getting powder coated, so it doesn't look like they modified them, but I don't want to compromise the structural integrity of the rear caliper, you know, by grinding the hell out of them. People do it. They probably drive just okay with them, but I'm not a huge fan of that. So one of my friends locally here in the Carolinas found a really cheap 17" wheel, and I'll reveal that now. This is a Motegi racing wheel. It's marketed as a racing wheel, and the price is like $130 per wheel. Maybe say $140 a wheel. So that's super affordable. I mean, I can't get stock C6 wheels for that price. You know, maybe a little bit cheaper, but like I happen to find a real good deal for that one wheel I needed to buy. So this 17" Motegi wheel clears back Brembos. I'll include a picture now of my buddy's car. So it clears the back Brembo, and here's just a side-by-side shot of it next to the Corvette wheel. Yes, it looks huge, but when you put the Motegi onto the Corvette wheel, you guys can see there's probably a 1/2" here and another 1/2" on the bottom. So that's your full 1" smaller wheel. And what else can you do with this combination? You guys can fit a 305/45 sidewall on your stock SS, your stock G8, and potentially the Corvette. So this is actually not my wheel. I do not own this wheel. I'm borrowing it from a friend locally who bought that same set of wheels as my other buddy. What we're going to do today is test fit the Motegi wheel onto the Corvette. I haven't found out if they fit. I looked, it's just not a popular wheel that a lot of the Corvette guys go to, and I kind of want more sidewall because as you guys can see, the 305 35 underneath it is not, it's just not a lot there. With another 10 millimeter, you know, I showed you guys that side shot. I mean, that 305 45 was like freaking huge. It probably looked like a 3 or 4 inch sidewall, you know, around the entire wheel. So kind of playing around here. I'm not sure if this is going to fit at all. The wheel size itself will fit. It's a 17 by 9.5 instead of the 18 by 9.5. So I know the dimensions will fit. The only problem we might have is this wheel is a 45 millimeter offset, and the factory Corvette wheel, front wheel that it's sitting on top of, is a 50 millimeter offset. So I think you could get a 5 millimeter spacer and make up that difference. But guys, if I can get away with it, I don't want to run a spacer. I just want to run the wheel on the hub, no spacers, and lock it down. Like 5 millimeters, not super thick. So I actually have a 2 millimeter spacer. I actually have 2 of these. So I've got about 4 millimeters in spacers that I can test out today. But I bought these spacers to clear the stock SS chrome wheels that I have to go over the 6-piston Brembo caliper. I have these just in case I ever need it. Actually, I have a video on these. I'll post a link in the description above. But I have these because if I ever go on a road trip, we typically take the SS. If I get a flat, I can grab that full-size spare wheel, which actually is just a full-size stock SS wheel, bolt it up front, and it'll go no problem. So I'll be able to drive it highway speeds. Yeah, the TPMS won't work, but that's not a bigger deal. So today, our main goal is to fit this on the Corvette and see if it fits. I would show you guys how that wheel fits on the SS, but like I showed you in that picture, it clears the G8, it's going to clear the SS, the rear suspension is all the same. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is overall diameter. Now I have a tape measure. So my friend said that that wheel and tire were almost 28 inches tall. And as you guys can see, that 28 inches, we're at like 28 and less than 28 and a half. So if I'm going to run that wheel on the SS, yeah, I'd have to get the fender rolled at least, because that probably will rub. No, I think that guy is running those wheels full time. I would not be running those wheels full time. I would only be running them at the strip. Alright guys, we've gotten the rear wheel. I broke it loose. As you guys just saw, we got the rear end raised up, and I put a jack stand under the rear subframe, so we can get this front wheel off and see if this drag radial is going to fit. Alright guys, as you saw, we took the cup 20-inch wheel off. Now we're going to see if this 17-inch Motegi wheel fits, and see if we have a potential new drag pack. Alright guys, here is the 17-inch Motegi wheel on the back of the Corvette. As you guys can see, there is a 1/4 inch gap between the brake caliper and the side of the wheel, so specifically right there and on the bottom, nothing is hitting. The rotor is clearing it by a good lot. So I have the Corvette, actually I have pressure on the lower A-arm trying to push the wheel up. So if we use my torque wrench as a straight line, we are, so that's touching, we're like a solid inch from the fender, outside of the fender at least. Alright, so like I said, we're a good straight up, like we're good on the outside rim to the edge of the fender. My only concern would be how much bulge those 345s stick out. That might be kind of tight. We'll see. But I mean, from fender to wheels going straight up, we've got like an inch. So maybe that isn't a big concern. Oh, and some of you other guys might be concerned about lower control arm and clearance with the wheel. We got it the width of my hand plus gloves, so we got probably 2 fingers, yeah, finger and a half, so that's like an inch clearance between the lower control arm and the inside of the wheel. Upper control arm, oh geez, yeah, upper control arm, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but upper control arm, it's like 3 or 4 inches. But the one thing I am interested in is the spindle to the wheel. Okay, again, you got about the width of a finger. I don't think you guys can see that, but my finger with a glove is fitting clearly between the upper spindle and the wheel. So these things should clear in all the directions that I can think of. So it clears the upper spindle, it clears the lower control arm, it clears the upper control arm. The brake caliper is close, but you know, it's not really going to hit anything. It's clear, it clears there. So guys, this might actually end up being an option. My only concern right now is actually, I don't know if you guys saw me struggling with the locking lug, the key. This key is a little fat for these holes. Like, what I mean by that is it's very tight. Now I do have a bunch of tape on here, so I could actually make the key skinnier by not having any of that tape on there, but that's electrical tape and some painter's tape. If I took that off, the key might fit in there with no issue. So it's just another thing to be observant about. Alright guys, here's a side-by-side shot of the 20-inch cup wheel and a 17-inch Motegi. So these things definitely a lot smaller, but once you throw a 45 series sidewall on this Motegi, I'd almost be willing to bet that the rim height would be almost similar. Alright guys, as you just saw, the Motegis do fit the Corvette, so that might be one of the next mods I do for the car. Actually, not just that car, but both cars. But if I do it on the SS, like behind me, I'm going to have to roll the fenders, I'm pretty sure. And the other issue I'm going to have is actually we'll need to buy new lug nuts for both cars. The Corvette is 12 millimeters by 1.5, and I think the SS is 14 by 1.5. My friend that has these wheels does not run the Gorilla lug nuts like I have on both cars. He runs like a tuner lug, and it's a little bit narrower, so that allows you to get inside that real narrow barrel on the where the lugs go. So that'd be something I have to order, but those are pretty cheap. I think a set of those tuner lugs was only like 20 bucks, $25 each. So 50 bucks in lugs. And honestly guys, I would not run those on the street. I would only run them for the wheels, just because I've had no issues with these Gorilla lugs, and I've been using them for, gosh, man, at least 3 or 4 years on both cars. So I've had zero issues with them. This, like I said, that might be the new set of wheels. Now, those wheels do come in black, gold, silver like you saw. I don't think there's a polished option. I think they're all coated. I would obviously get black because I have black wheels on the SS and the Corvette. So that would be the option that I get. And honestly, guys, I would probably sell this set of drag pack wheels because I don't need 2 sets. And the only bad thing is, I spent all that money on these, and I don't have many passes on them. These tires have never seen street miles ever, so I might have a set of wheels and tires for sale. I'll let you guys know. So I'm gonna end this here. If you guys like the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. Thanks and have a great day.